Hello everybody, thank you for coming back and watching my videos. I do appreciate you coming back and watching. I did take some time off. For those of you who do know, my father passed away November 1st. So it's been kind of a struggle getting these videos out. I have been lifting throughout this process, but it's just been a little bit different for me. What you're seeing here is just a little bit of warm-ups going into my work set. These videos are going to be a little bit shorter, guys, because I don't want to sit here and tell you everything that I'm doing. Plus, I feel like it's a little boring watching all my assistance exercises. So what I'm going to do is to show each one of my sets for the week, and then for each one of my working sets, or for my actual work. So one day I'll do legs one week, and then I'll show all my leg assistance exercises along with my top sets. And then the next time I will go ahead and do some kind of work with bench press, and I'll show you my bench press and then my assistance exercises with bit. So you're going to see something a little different every week. I am heading into a meet in March 14th in Katy. Hopefully I'll get some good lifts in. These squats are a little bit high for me, I believe. I am working up my weight, trying to get used to the weight on my back. Right here you're seeing a total of 325. This is just for one. This is something that I'm working on. I'm sorry, 335. No, 325. I'm sorry about that. Working for a set of one here. And then I believe I will go up to 330 for my last two sets. This one felt pretty good. Right there, I probably need to go down just a little bit lower, but I feel like my shoes were an issue, so I went ahead and bought some squat shoes. That way I'd see a little bit of difference in my hip depth. Right here, this is my set for 330. I did ask for a spot on this just to make sure. I told him not to touch the bar because that would make me go way off. You'll see his hands go up near me, but they never touch the bar. So I just want you to be aware of that. I was having a little bit of shoulder issues this day. I don't know what it was. It just felt like there was a little pinch in my right shoulder every time I took the bar off. But everything else worked pretty good. That would be a competition depth right there. My hip crease went below my knee. So that works out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that squat. After this, you're going to see some back down squats. I believe this is 275. I believe I did pauses on these just to make sure that I could get some good work in. I need help getting out of the bottom of the hole more than I need help getting up. Once I get started out the bottom, I should be okay. The top of the lift is never really the issue with me. It's usually the lift getting it off the ground, off my chest, or out of the hole. These might just be working sets. I don't believe I paused, but these look all really good depth. I honestly should probably work on getting my knees a little bit wider. That actually sets my hips a little lower. That helps with getting a little bit more depth. Showing a couple of sets here, my working sets again. I'm not going to show you everything, but I will show you a lot. Not much has changed, guys. I've lost a lot of weight. I think on this day I woke up and weighed 184 at this time, which is a little light for me. I really want to be closer to the 190 range is what I want. I don't know if I'll get there before the meet. I would like to say that it's a possibility, but I feel like I am just a little bit light in the butt, if you know what I mean. I am competing in the 93 kilogram weight class, which is pretty much from 183 all the way up to 205 pounds. So I am at the bottom of that weight class, which kind of sucks. But I don't want to have to lose any more weight. That's not something I want. I want to fill out and keep my weight stable. If I could stay stable around 190, 188, something like that, I would be happy with it. It's just a little bit of playing around. I'm playing around with carbs and protein and seeing how my body reacts to it to see how each day I progress. This week was a pretty high carb week. I think I ended every day with at least 140 grams of carbs and 140 grams of protein. Um, so that's going to be something I'm going to be watching and playing around with to see what helps more. If I need more protein in my diet, I'll knock down the carbs a little bit and I'll push up the protein a little bit. So it's just going to kind of depend on what my body needs at the time, what makes me feel better during the lifting. Um, Having to do a little bit of different stuff with my diet, especially with my shakes. Some nights I'm actually adding some baby food, some baby rice formula into my protein shakes to make sure that I get enough carbs. This is a little strange for me because it makes my shakes taste horrible. But again, I know it's something that I have to do. Here you actually see I'm just having trouble getting this bar set in position where it's not killing my shoulder. I eventually do get it set and good to go. It just takes some time. Uh, See, picked it up, put it back down because I didn't have it in position. One thing I want everybody to note, if you're doing anything like this, if it doesn't feel right, put the weight down. Don't force yourself to do something that hurts, that's not comfortable. Once I got this in a comfortable position and I knew I could do it, went ahead and did the work. That's a little high. That's a good squat. And I believe I do one more here. And the weird thing with this, that was a really good depth position right there. That was probably my easiest set of the day for some reason. I don't know what it was, if it was just finally getting warm or that was just something different. It felt good. One thing I do know I need to work on is getting some momentum down into the hole into my squats. I feel like I'm not going down fast enough because there is a rebound down at the bottom of the squat that you need to do to have a good squat, and I feel like I'm just not there. Here you're going to see some hip extensions and some straight leg deadlifts. Guys, I can't tell you how uncomfortable this is to get this bar in position. I feel like it is crushing my no-no zone, if you know what I mean. That's why I have that pad there to try to help with that. What you're going to see is I'm putting my feet out a little bit closer in than my squat stance and putting my toes out. That helps me get more rotation in my hips and helps me work on my glutes and my hamstrings at the same time. Right here, this is 155. I believe I ended up going up to 185 today on these. I don't know if I show you those. I just wanted to show you the movement and what you need to do and what it works. But this is definitely for your glutes, for your posterior, hamstrings, everything else in the back is involved as well. It is a very uncomfortable position to be in. From there, I move straight into stiff leg deadlifts. One thing to notice for stiff leg deadlifts is your legs don't need to be completely straight. The straighter they are, the better the movement works. But for me, since I have such a long torso and such short arms, it is hard for me to get in that position. Try to keep your back straight in a neutral position, which I am doing here, which is doing pretty good. I also have my arms out wider so I can keep in a good position. That way I don't have to bend down so far to drop the weight. That pad sucks, by the way, guys. Here you go. This is my set for 185. What I'm doing on these is I'm just going until I can start feeling the burn, and then I go through it as many times as I possibly can. The hardest part about this exercise is getting the bar off the ground for the first time, but once you actually have the bar in momentum, it's not so bad. This gym that I go to, everybody kind of looks at me like I'm a freak because this is not something that most people would normally do, but this is something that I need to do because I need more strength in my posterior for my squats. I don't feel like I have enough activation in my glutes and my hamstrings whenever I do squats, and that's one of the most important things. If your hamstrings are not activated and your glutes aren't activated during the squat, it hurts everything. A lot of people think that it's a lot of quad dominant. Well, quads go into some aspect of the squat whenever you're doing a high bar squat or a front squat, but it's not the main mover in a low bar squat like I'm doing for competition. For competition, I am doing low bar, which is lower back, kind of tied to my delts. This helps me get more movement out of the bottom through my hamstrings and my glute. And when I start standing up, I'll start using more of my quads more and more, which is why I never have an issue um, standing up. I believe this is just a hamstring curl. By this time, I'm pretty worked. Um, I can't remember how many sets I show here. I cut a lot of it out because I do a lot of hamstring work, and I don't feel like it's necessary for everybody to see that all the time. I believe this was just this is probably 2 sets. I'm doing this next one. I think I do a drop set. I raised the heel up a little bit on this thing because I felt like I was getting too hyperextended with my knees, and that's something that you don't want. You want full extension on your hamstrings on this, but you don't want to hyperextend your knees. It makes your tendons just ache. It is not a good thing to do, guys. So be aware of that whenever you're using these machines. Don't hyperextend yourself. Elbows, shoulders, um, especially hamstrings, because you can pop a hamstring real quick on one of these machines, especially as heavy as you can go on these. I go pretty heavy on this day, but I don't go as heavy as I could. I am more working on hypertrophy at this point, trying to get some movement in those areas. Um, Another thing I want to talk to you about, guys, is motivation right now. When my father passed away, I had a very difficult time getting motivated and getting back into the rhythm of things. I still kept lifting. I did everything I could to keep myself motivated, but there's always a point to where you feel so motivated you just don't want to do anything. You had to find a way to get yourself back in there and getting stuff done. Especially for me, I need a goal. I needed something I needed to work on, and luckily for me, I found that meet in Katy. Like I said, it is a rookie meet. So what that means is that anybody who's ever competed in the USAPL is not able to compete in this meet. It means that it's going to be mostly people who have never competed in a powerlifting meet professionally before. So I'm gonna have some different strategies coming up. I'm thinking about it. The closer I get to the meet, the more I'll elaborate on my strategies. Um, but it's just different. It's different not having Dad around and not having him comment on my videos and telling me I need to gain weight or I need to do this or I need to do that. So, every time that I go underneath that, I kind of have to think of him, wondering what he would say to me, what he would tell me, um, and then go from there. I just know that whenever you lose a loved one, it is one of the hardest things to do to know that they're always in your mind and always in the back of your mind, even though you're trying to focus on one thing. So it was always a struggle for me to make sure to get everything right and make sure to get everything I needed to get done. Otherwise, I would just lose it. It's especially hard uh, whenever you start a journey like I did whenever I had my weight loss surgery, knowing that I needed it to be healthy and for me to live longer and for my family not to worry about me. And then you just lose confidence. And that's what I needed to do coming back into the gym before my meet. And this is what I'm working up to. This is a bench press day. I am working on 155 here, just warm-ups going in. One thing I do need to work on is getting a tighter arch. You see me scooting my feet back. I have worked a little bit on trying to get my feet back a little bit more. This is 175. I believe I do this for 3. I'm not trying to kill myself. I'm just trying to get the movement in. And I'm trying to pause at the bottom just like I would at a meet. And go from there. This is 205. I'm sorry, 195. I jumped up 20 because those felt real good. This is just going to be for 1. As you can see, my arch, my back is really good. I'm pretty happy with that. It gives me a lot of room to move. What I need to do is I need to have my legs flexed and ready to go um, for the leg drive. It's something I'm still working on. This was very uncomfortable because he didn't give me a lot of space to move. For my bench, he kind of had his stuff in my face. This was for 215, I believe. No, 205. This was 205 at this point. I go up to 215 here. I did not get this lift. I did not get it off my chest. One thing I am working on is doing some pin presses every other week, trying to get some more pressing power off the bottom. As you can see, I do get this off my chest, but I cannot finish the lift. Right there is where I need a little bit more help, and that's where I have the pin set whenever I do the pin press. The next time I focus on bench, on a bench week, I will show a pin press. I did not record it this last week because I'm doing these a week ahead of time, so do be aware of that. But next time I do pin press, I will show it. This is just a couple of back down sets at 185. I do these for 3, I believe. This is going to be more of a pause situation, just making sure that I can get the weight off my chest. What the pause is you're going down, touching your chest, and then waiting for it to settle and going back up. It looks like a touch and go bench, but it's really not. A touch and go bench goes way quicker than that. Skipped all my assistance work that day, just like I said. Don't feel like it's necessarily to show all of that. This is my deadlifts for the week. Right here, I am working on 275 beltless. This is something I need to work on and something I have kind of corrected this last week after watching this video, is that my shoulders are too far forward. Whenever you're doing the sumo deadlift like I am here, your shoulders need to be either in line with the bar or behind the bar. And this one's not too bad, but my back is not straight enough. It's one thing I do need to work on. That was an attempt at 315. Got it. Felt pretty good off the floor. Again, another 315. I do these for a set of 3, I believe. Don't feel like this day I had a whole lot left in me, so I did a set of 3 on these. Just to get the work in. I'm hoping to hit 405 at the meet. Not sure if that's going to happen, but that's what I'm working up to. You're going to see a lot of different movements here, trying to get set up and comfortable. This next one, I am really rounded over, and that is not good, and I have trouble getting it off the floor. If my back is straight, it's not such an issue. But with my back rounded over like that, it's just a lot of slack to pull out of the bar. I continue on with 3 sets of this, and then I move on. But this has been a good training week. I got a lot of stuff done. I felt like I could have probably done more, but it's something that I'm just working on. Each week I'm going to be decreasing the volume but raising the intensity, so not as many sets or reps, but I am going to be increasing the weight just so I can get used to carrying the weight again. So that's something that you're going to see and notice, that I'm going to be doing less and less high volume stuff. I'm going to be doing more lower volume, heavier weights, sets of 1, 2, and 3 mostly for the rest of the time. Whenever I am 4 weeks out, I'll be doing sets of 5. Whenever I'm 3 weeks out, I'll be doing sets of 3. Whenever I'm 2 weeks out, I'll be doing sets of 1. And then my last week, I'll do 1 day of lifting, just hitting my openers. And then that'll be it for that week. And then I'll go into the meet fresh. I don't want to kill myself all the way up until then. I am probably going to take a back down week right before I start going into my 4 weeks out. Just so I can have a little bit of rest. My body is killing me right now, guys. I have so many issues in my shoulders and my lats, just from training. So it's something I need to be cognizant of and make sure that it's going well. One thing that you'll notice here is my butt is way too high up in the air. and you're going to see my shoulders, because my butt's too high up in the air, my shoulders are way in front. Getting your butt down, your back straight, and your shoulders behind the bar fixes this issue and helps you get a little bit more power out of your legs to get the lift up. So it's something I'm just generally working on, making sure I can get stuff done the correct way. Right now, it's all about moving weight. No matter what I do to get it up, as long as I can get it up, it's perfectly fine with me. That was one ugly lift, I will tell you that. But at this point, I am pretty tired. One thing I have noticed is when my legs are that far out wide, it is a struggle to get the lift up. So I've brought my feet in a little bit more this next week that you'll see in the video, and it moved pretty well. I'm going to be trying to upload these on Sunday nights, so everybody be aware of that. I'll post on Facebook and Instagram, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to try to get some different angles for everybody to see every week, just so everybody can see what's going on and how the movements look from different angles and what the judges are expecting during the meet. So I do appreciate it, guys. I believe that's probably it. I just wanted to thank y'all for coming in and supporting me again. I do appreciate all the support and everything that y'all do. Again, make sure to hug your loved ones and tell them that you love them. You never know when something's going to happen, when something's going to just disappear from your life. You want to live every day as best as you can, and go from there. Alright, guys, I'm out. Love y'all. Watch the rest of the video. Continue working hard. I'm going to continue working hard for me and for everybody else. Love y'all. Have a good day.